Guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that was not only highly requested but that I touched upon a couple of months ago, and that is the topic of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and more specifically the topic of Johnny Depp versus the publication The Sun, who he was suing for libel based on certain claims they made that they couldn't really back up. However, before we get into that, I did want to thank today's sponsor, which is Native. As of now, I've been using Native deodorant products for over a year. They recently released a plastic-free version of the Native deodorants. 0% plastic, they're made from 100% paperboard sources from responsibly managed forests. On top of that, Native is a partner of the 1% for the Planet and commits 1% of plastic-free deodorant sales to environmental nonprofits. Native deodorants are aluminum, paraben, and sulfate-free, as well as vegan and cruelty-free. They also have natural and familiar scents such as coconut oil and shea butter. Also, another great aspect of Native is that it dries quickly and it lasts all day. So my two favorite scents that are always pretty much my go-to with Native are the cucumber mint and the lavender rose. I really gravitate towards these two specifically because they smell really fresh, they smell really good, but it's not overpowering. 3 plastic-free deodorants are normally $39, but if you use my link and code, you'll get them for $29. That's 25% off with free shipping to the US. Thank you, Native, for sponsoring this video. Okay, so basically, if you've been vaguely aware of what's been going on, you know that Amber Heard and Johnny Depp have had a lot of publicity, mainly because Amber Heard made allegations that Johnny Depp had physically abused her. There has been a lot released since those first allegations, but when they first came out, many people sided with Amber Heard because there were certain things that seemed to back up her story, such as at one point she put makeup on her face to look like she'd been beaten up. There are a lot of things that happened, and I'll link down below a channel that has a bunch of recordings of the phone calls between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, most of which, in my opinion, show Amber Heard as abusive, as she actually admits to hitting Johnny Depp. On top of that, there's the time where she basically chopped off a piece of his finger, on top of all the testimonials saying that what she has claimed is simply incorrect, from housekeepers to bodyguards. There is a lot there. However, today we're going to focus on the libel because that had an effect that really made me and many other people angry. So first, let me just read a couple of things from an article just so we know what happened with Johnny Depp versus The Sun. I'll link the full article down below because it is rather lengthy. The Hollywood actor Johnny Depp has lost his high-stakes libel action in the London courts against The Sun after the newspaper described him as a wife-beater. The High Court dismissed the claim by Pirates of the Caribbean star for compensation at the end of one of the most widely followed libel trials of the century. His lawyers said he would most likely appeal against the perverse and bewildering decision. In the 129-page ruling, the judge, Mr. Justice Nichols, said the claimant Depp has not succeeded in his action for libel. The defendants, The Sun, and News Group newspapers have shown that what they published in the meaning which I have held the words to bear was substantially true. The judge added, I have found that the great majority of alleged assaults of Miss Heard by Mr. Depp have been proved to the civil standard. He also said that he accepted Heard's evidence that the allegations she made against Depp have had a negative effect on her career as an actor and activist. I'm gonna preface this because anytime I talk about this topic, people will be like, oh, well, Johnny Depp isn't a perfect human, he had substance abuse issues, and no one's claiming he's a perfect human. I'm just saying having substance abuse issues does not automatically make you a domestic abuser. And on top of that, a lot of the evidence backs up Johnny Depp's side. If you listen to the phone calls between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, that are very intense, by the way, so prepare yourself to listen to those.
Tell them what just happened.
And I lied!
And that you punched me in the fucking thing, and you in the face, and you said, no, fuck it. No, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I watched you lie, and then I
didn't punch you. By the way, I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you, babe. You're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights been around a long time. I know. Yeah,
no, when you fucking have a closed fist.
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you.
You can't
I don't know
deck
what
me.
the motion of my actual hand was, but your fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
So all I'm saying is I don't think it's fair to conflate substance abuse with domestic abuse. One and the other don't necessarily have to be connected. And on top of that, if we're really looking at whose career took a bigger hit, it's definitely Johnny Depp's, because Amber Heard barely has a career. But moving on. Depp, 57, had sued the Sun's publisher, News Group Newspapers, and its executive editor, Dan Wooten, over an article published in The Sun that originally carried the headline, "Gone Potty, How Can J.K. Rowling Be Genuinely Happy Casting Wife-Beater Johnny Depp in the New Fantastic Beasts Film?" I don't think it's a reach to say that's libel, because even when this was published, and even now, there's no proof that that is actually correct. There's more proof to say that Amber actually did physically hurt and abuse Johnny Depp. Now, I personally think the relationship was probably toxic on both ends, but nonetheless, one side was abusive and is proven to be so self-admittedly by her. So I even think that putting that in a title is definitely libel. I don't know how they can say it's not. NGN relied on a defense of truth to the claim. The burden of proof was on the Sun to demonstrate that the story was substantially accurate on the balance of probabilities. Immediately after the ruling, the publisher issued a statement saying the Sun has stood up and campaigned for the victims of domestic abuse for over 20 years. Domestic abuse victims must never be silenced, and we thank the judge for his careful consideration and thank Amber Heard for her courage in giving evidence to the court. Like I said in my last video, fuck Amber Heard, goodbye. So the reason why so many people are actually angry about this, apart from the fact that The Sun is a trash publication that has often really defied the boundaries of morality, though in journalism we see that pretty often, but really The Sun has been a trash publication for a very long time. They rely on clickbaiting to the extreme, as we see here, where you can't really use someone being a domestic abuser as clickbait and then expect them to not react when that simply hasn't been proven in the least. But people got angry because Johnny Depp posted today, November 6th, saying, "In the light of recent events, I would like to make the following short statement. Firstly, I'd like to thank everybody who has gifted me with their support and loyalty. I've been humbled and moved by your many messages of love and concern, particularly over the last few days. Secondly, I wish to let you know that I've been asked to resign by Warner Bros. From my role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, and I've respected and agreed to that request. Finally, I wish to say this. The surreal judgment of the court in the UK will not change my fight to tell the truth, and I confirm that I plan to appeal. My resolve remains strong, and I intend to prove that the allegations against me are false. My life and career will not be defined by this moment in time. Thank you for reading. Sincerely, Johnny Depp." So first of all, we have to remember that the case that Johnny Depp lost was libel. That was a civil case. It wasn't a criminal case. Like, he has not been determined to be guilty of actually abusing Amber Heard. So the fact that they asked him to resign is surreal because he just lost a libel case. It wasn't proven that he did anything else. But on the contrary, asking him to resign gives, I guess, the world the image that, oh yeah, we're asking him to resign because we don't side with a wife beater, when the case didn't determine whether he was a wife beater or not. The case determined whether this one judge thought the Sun was allowed to title something with the term wife beater referring to Johnny Depp. So the two things shouldn't really go hand in hand, in my opinion. I don't think Johnny Depp should lose his roles until there is proof, if there even will ever be any proof. And on top of that, I think it's inappropriate to ask him to resign, but we don't know if Amber Heard is going to keep her role in Aquaman 2. Because if that's the case, I want to know how it works out that Amber Heard admitted to hitting Johnny Depp. Amber Heard chopped some of Johnny Depp's finger off. Amber Heard put on makeup to look like she was beaten, but he's losing the jobs. And on top of that, it's even more laughable when she says she lost job opportunities when he's the one losing job opportunities. I don't even know what job opportunities she might have apart from Aquaman. I don't know who's rushing to hire her truly, but I just find this so unbalanced and ridiculous, and I'm glad that he's still gonna go forward with this, because it goes back to what I've talked about often, that male victims aren't taken seriously or their pain, their abuse is belittled, and I feel like this is just underlining that for the 10 millionth time, just that this time it's someone who really has the means to continue to pursue this, which I'm glad he does, because it's ridiculous. I don't find any of this logical in the least. For a judge and court to defend a publication like The Sun on such a sensitive topic like abuse, I'm speechless, truly, in the worst way possible. Anyways, guys, you can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think it was appropriate to ask Johnny Depp to resign from his job? Let me know if you guys think Amber Heard is guilty or not. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons